are back. I am Otis.
I'm Jerry.
All right, and we're two guys catching up on football. So, Jerry, this weekend was good. College football pretty much went to chalk, except for Georgia having a difficult time with the team they were playing. But other than
That was
that,
a
it
good
was
game.
good. Yeah, and I took a look at the poll, and so it's. I mean, Texas moved up. I'm fine with that. It's just. But one thing I didn't
Yeah,
notice in the top 12, it was mostly SEC and Big Ten teams. So
I
so
think.
it kind of looks like instead of expanding the playoffs so that anyone has a possibility of getting in, it's going to be mostly SEC and Big Ten teams in the
Oh,
playoff, except for whoever wins the ACC championship will get one of the top four spots. So
that.
it'll be the conference champion. Whoever wins that will get one of the top four spots. But it's gonna be mostly SEC and Big Ten, which is what pretty much everybody said that they just kind of cater to anyway.
That's true. I gotta clean my ears out a little bit because I'm usually the conspiracy guy on here, and you're saying
Yeah.
that they've got it rigged. Now, you can help me with this one. Is Missouri is in what? Are they SEC now?
Oh no, Missouri is Big 12.
Okay, but there is a team uh, that is in the rankings. I believe in the top 10 or top 7 that normally would not be there. I want to say for SEC. I can't
Well,
think of it off
it's
the top of my
probably
head.
Missouri, but I'm almost positive Missouri is in the Big 12 because they were
Okay.
with Oklahoma and Texas and when they were in the Big 12. But now
Yeah.
Texas is SEC, Georgia SEC, Ohio State Big 10, Alabama SEC, Ole Miss SEC, Tennessee
Yeah.
SEC, Missouri is Big 12.
I,
Miami is ACC. Oregon is Big Ten. And Penn
yeah.
State, USC are Big Ten. And I think Utah went to the Big Ten also.
I think
So
that's
that's
true too.
that's the top 12. So mostly,
And you did. I would have forgotten. You reminded me. I did not like Tennessee. That's fine. If you're going to crush somebody, go ahead and crush them.
yeah,
If you're going to kick, why do you need to kick an onside kick up 30-0?
yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It's just, but what is going to happen is Tennessee is also one of those teams that will lose to somebody they shouldn't. And that kind of comes down to Josh Heupel, the head coach. He's
yeah.
done that. He's done that everywhere he's gone. He's had a great record, and then somebody shows up on the schedule who they shouldn't lose to, and they do. So Ole Miss is that way. Lane Kiffin does that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Tennessee is that way. Missouri has in the
Yeah.
past done that. Penn State does that a lot. USC does that, and Utah. That's half of the top 12 right there who's probably going to lose because, lose to somebody that they shouldn't. That's why I say it's the second week in the rankings. I don't really care who's up there because I know there's going to
I
be
think. Yeah.
bedlam.
I think I'm a stickler for that, moving the teams. I just want to see, and they did it correctly in my eyes, is like Georgia, you can't
Yeah,
leave them at number one just because you win. You
right.
gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, they got lucky to get through that game. So,
Yeah, who did they play? I forget. Oh,
geez,
Kentucky.
yeah, Kentucky, yeah.
Kentucky.
And,
And Kentucky was
and
Kentucky was unranked, so they should have
yeah, right.
dispatched them quite easily. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and I can't remember exactly now, but Kentucky definitely had they had their chances to pull it off too. So
oh yeah, Yeah, they did have their chances to
And,
pull it
and,
off.
and now I'm going to throw out one for you as speculation. Who is going to be coaching Florida or Florida State next year? Do
Oh,
we have
I
any
don't have.
candidates already?
No, I don't have any idea. I don't know
Saban?
who it's
No,
gonna be. Huh?
not
No, I don't
Saban.
think I don't think Saban wants to. I don't
Maybe
think he does.
Urban Meyer again down in Florida.
He might. I mean, they loved him down there, so
Well, he
he
loves the
absolutely
bars
might.
down there. I think more than yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay. Whoever they decide to get, they decide to get. So, enough with college football. So, we'll start the NFL. Bills, Dolphins. Everybody's already said a lot about Tua, and to be honest, we don't really need to. We were
Yeah,
never pro football players, so
true.
he's
I,
gonna
I
do
am
what he's.
shocked. Right. He said apparently today he's not retiring.
Yeah, he's. Well, you can't tell a man what to do.
True.
He's got to
Yeah.
make his own decisions. So the Bills did what they're supposed to do, and really the Dolphins did what they're supposed to do because they haven't beaten a team with a 500 record in 2 years. So it's just kind of
I can't
yeah.
understand. Uh, I'm always Miami to me is they've got a lot of talent. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just kind of one of those things. You just got teams that do that, and so
Yeah.
we're gonna hit on this real quick because it's over and done with Vikings and 49ers. The 49ers lost to the Vikings last year. They lost to them this year. It just kind of happens. And some teams, they always say styles make fights. And the Vikings just seem to have the 49ers number. Like the 49ers have the Rams numbers
Yeah.
when the Rams are better and the 49ers come up and beat them. It's only the second week. Don't really care.
Yeah, I'm going. Only thing I'm pulling out of that one is my MVP for the season through 2 weeks. I'm going with Sam Darnold. He's
Okay.
right. I'm like McCarthy. McCarthy. They don't even need JJ McCarthy. I mean,
No, no,
he's got to be.
and I think Sam Darnold has the New York Jets stink off of him, the failure off of him now, and so he needed
Yeah.
a year with Kyle Shanahan to go back to being a winning quarterback like he was at USC,
Yeah.
and
True.
so
He's
and
rinsed
so now
himself
I think
off of the Jets. Yeah.
he has the losing stink off of him. It took a lot of
Yeah. In fact,
showers, but he finally has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
And
remember
then
what he had there. Yeah.
the Seahawks beat the Patriots, and the Patriots are playing well, and really they're about where I thought they'd be 0-2 after the start of the season. They're 1-1. They're actually a little better than I thought they would
Are the
be.
Seahawks better than we think?
You know what, they might be. I don't know yet. The two games they had at the beginning of the season were winnable games. So I'm
Yeah,
not
good
sure.
point. Yeah.
They went to overtime in this game, and I forgot who they played last week, and I think they beat them by 3.
I can't remember either
Excuse me.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, but they might be better than we think. And then we had the Giants and the Commanders.
Whew.
The Giants have moved up in my rankings from 35th because I had a high school team and a college team ahead of them. They moved up to 34th, but only because they got rid of those horrendous jerseys they wore last week.
That's a step
Like
forward.
they had jerseys that a high school team would never come out of the locker
Yeah,
room in. So I took a high school team out and dropped them below the Giants. There are still a lot of college teams I would put ahead of them. So
Now, I do
but
get. I think there was a scare in that game with our guy Daniels on Washington getting
right,
hurt.
yeah.
Uh, I saw he did come back in. Of course, they won, so good
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
yeah. He got back in. So I like him. he's going to do well. The Commanders probably will only win 5 games, but it'll be five. It'll be a good season for him all the way around. The Chargers and Panthers. Well, the Panthers are the worst team in well,
They're bad.
second to they're them and the Giants are worst team,
I
college
I,
team, worst team, and you can take your pick and swap them if you want to.
I'm
And
starting to feel sorry for Bryce Young, but is Bryce Young good? I don't know.
I don't
I
think
do.
he is. I
Yeah,
don't think I don't think he's good. He just makes way
they
too
might.
many mistakes.
Yeah, they may go winless. Yeah,
Yeah, they might is a
first
possibility,
0 and
but
17 team. Yeah,
yeah, but Jim Harbaugh, love him or not, like him or not, he just wins, and he just does it wherever he goes. So
I do like. I'm not a Harbaugh fan. I like his style though. He loves to run the ball,
yeah, 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 and
and I
now we
love that.
got we come to the marquee matchup, Saints and Cowboys, and the Saints
Well,
took the Cowboys to the woodshed. Grandma took them to the woodshed,
yeah, that
and
was a
even
dud.
made them go get the switch she was gonna beat them with.
Yeah,
Not, my
yeah,
grandmother would do. My grandma would do that. So it's
yeah,
bad enough she's gonna whip you, but she makes you go get the whip she's gonna whip you with. That's bad. So the only thing that's keeping me off the Saints bandwagon is Dennis Allen. He's
yeah.
gonna
True.
figure out some way to mess it up.
I still can't. My thing with the Saints is I'd like seeing them succeed. I still just I won't believe in Derek Carr. They could go 17 and 0, and I still wouldn't believe in Derek Carr. I don't know what it is. I just
I
wouldn't.
don't
He would have
either.
to win the Super Bowl, I guess.
I
And I don't know
guess.
why that is with him, but I just feel
I
that
don't
way.
know. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I
Yeah.
think he's. I put it like this: who else will you put back there?
No, I know. That's the other. A side note with the Saints and Cowboys is, well, who shuts down Prescott? Joe Woods, of all people, says, I
Yeah,
don't think so, Dak. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's just kind of it was kind of a screwy weekend,
Yeah,
and then we
it's
got
been a, yeah.
the Packers and the Colts. It was a pretty evenly matched game. I think the Colts had one more, or I don't think Malik Willis turned the ball over today at all. And
That's
so, and I
doing your
think,
job, right? Yeah.
yeah, and I think the Packers got 2 turnovers. So I think that was pretty much the difference in the game, So,
Yeah.
it was good for the Packers. Glad to see it. And here's your boys, the Browns and Jaguars. And so if you're joining us for the first time, Jerry is a Browns fan, and it's pretty funny because he is texting me, and he just knows the Browns are gonna blow it. Even with 1 second left, they're going to blow it.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was kind of funny. He is bad luck schleprock when it comes to the Browns. He knows the worst is going to happen, and the only time he's happy is when triple zeros are on the clock and the Browns
Yeah.
are on top of the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trained well by them to, yeah,
It's true.
prepare, hope for the best, expect the worst, because it usually happens with them. I
A
give,
lot of a lot of times
I give them,
they have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
yeah, I will give. Deshaun Watson played great in the first half and the second half. For a while there, he laid an egg again, but he came through when he had to. I'll give him that. His defense came through too, and the punter came through. So,
Right. Now,
uh,
now I will say this on his behalf. He was 5-2 last year before he went down with 4-2 before he went
yeah,
down with the injury. So he just
yeah.
hasn't been playing spectacular
No, the other is
like he was in Houston.
I
Yeah.
don't want to get too much on him. Speaking of being a Browns fan, he'll probably play great maybe the next 2 weeks, and it'll be like, man, he's really putting it all together. And then the next thing is going to be wham, oh, he's suspended now. So, you never know what's going to happen with him.
It's
Yeah.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the Raiders and the Ravens. The Raiders played a good game today, and
That,
the Ravens did not. I mean, Lamar Jackson does not look good right now, and so they gotta they gotta have the starters play more in the preseason so they can
I
get
agree.
more
Yeah.
reps. I mean, they
Yeah.
have to. These
Yeah.
these guys really are kind of using the first two games as an extended preseason. And if that's the
Right.
case, then they might as well have just kept all the preseason games
Yeah.
in there. Because now these games matter and you're wasting real games by trying to
Well,
get your time in.
yeah, to me, it's the second week. There's 17 games. I'm a huge believer. There is no such thing as a game you can throw away unless you got
Right.
something clinched. It doesn't exist. Every
No,
game
it,
is a
it
big
doesn't.
game. It's important.
Yeah, not at the beginning of the season because they're two games behind Pittsburgh now. Who we'll
Yeah,
get to
true.
who we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
And then we had oh, I missed them. The Jets and the Titans. The Jets played
Well,
well enough. And
yeah, they
the
did.
Titans are not good. Yeah.
No,
The Titans
Levis. I can't remember now the exact thing that Levis did, but you can see the clip where the coach of the Titans, I can't think of his name right now, Callahan,
yeah.
Brian Callahan from the Seahawks, was not pleased. Basically, asked him,
Oh no.
what the heck are you doing? But he said it
Yeah.
in more forceful terms, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so
Yeah,
that that's
Levis
that's not good. Yeah.
yeah, Levis is going through trials and tribulations. We'll put it like that. Um, and then you had our boy Baker Mayfield. All he does is win.
And he
and
beat the
apparently,
Lions now. Yeah.
and apparently that wasn't good enough for the Browns. They wanted him to, and sometimes that's you. You want them to win spectacularly, and not just win. I don't care as long as they win, and because you're like, oh, the Browns had an ugly win. It was a win. It doesn't
True.
matter how ugly it is. It's just like golf. There's no pictures on the scorecard. It's just the score. So that's all it is in football. It's just the score. If you scored more than the
True.
other team, doesn't really matter how
Yeah,
you
you
did
get
it.
the W.
But now Baker, you'll have to pull this highlight up. It'll probably be on YouTube. Baker broke a linebacker's ankles today. He put a fake on this linebacker. It was like 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 14. Baker broke the pocket. He put a move on this linebacker. And Baker's not fast. He's not like Lamar Jackson. But he
No.
put a move on this linebacker. And then I think he ran over two guys to get the first down. That's
Oh, and
Baker,
he
though.
probably spiked the ball after that too.
No, no, he did. I don't think he did. But that is Baker. I love Baker. I love Baker.
Baker
He-
is. You cannot. I would never argue against Baker's passion for the game. I'd put it
Oh
that way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And ever since he stopped making all those commercials, his football has been better. And
That's
so
true.
his football has been much much better. And I think he's
I
just
was
focused.
just a side note. I forgot about this, but now you reminded me. The Browns team last year, great defense, and they made the playoffs. All that they made it with 5 different quarterbacks. Imagine if Baker was the quarterback of that team on the Browns last year. They would have been the most exciting team in the league if they
Oh
were
yeah,
winning with Baker at quarterback and that defense from last season. They would have been the most exciting team in the league.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And this Baker is my 2 game MVP.
Yeah, I like that. I'll go with that too. That's
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and now we get to our favorite player, the Smurf. Smurf
Man,
played well. Now, this week, he said something he should not have said, but he said it. And what he said
I didn't
was,
hear that.
yeah, what he said was because someone was asking him, he targeted Marvin Harrison
Oh,
Jr. once, I think, in the game last week. And he said, it's not my job to get him the football. Well, if it's not your job, whose job is it?
yeah,
I
no,
mean, are you supposed to bring the other quarterback in just to throw to Marvin Harrison Jr.? That shows that his maturity is still not there. But
true.
we make fun of him, but
Yeah,
he played a really good game today.
he did.
So
They crushed him,
yeah, they
he did get. I think Harrison may have gotten 3 touches or
well he might have
receptions,
well
right?
he got
Three
10
catches,
catches.
but I think he had 2 TDs.
Yeah, he had 10 catches, I think, and 100 and something yards, but he had a
Yeah.
really long touchdown catch, and he had good plays all the way around.
No,
And he when Smurf got into trouble, he was actually looking for him because the kid knows how to get open. I mean, he just does, and so he was looking for him. So I, I give
yeah,
I give
yeah,
Murray I give Murray credit for that. And so
yeah,
now we
yeah.
go from a quarterback in Baker who just wins to a coach. Oh, wait a minute, not yet. We got the Chiefs and the Bengals. Sorry, we go from one quarterback who just wins Baker to another
Well,
quarterback who just wins
he
Mahomes.
just wins even more. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, he just
well,
wins even more.
I didn't watch too much of that game, but with the Chiefs and Bengals. But yeah, I think once I saw the Bengals gave the ball back, they couldn't get a
Yeah,
first down. You gave the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with about 2 minutes left. You're done. Forget it. It's over.
yeah,
And all he
yeah.
needed was a field
It's
goal. You're
done.
finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done. So, and the pass interference call, which we both saw, was pass interference. He ran into
That
the
was
receiver
PI.
early. He
Yeah,
ran
that
into the
wasn't the
receiver
refs
early,
helping.
so it wasn't the refs helping. So it
Yeah.
was Bengals defense helping. And the Bengals picked off Mahomes, I think, twice today. Might have been three times,
Wow.
but it was twice for sure. But they got nothing out of it. The Chiefs defense held them. And so that's
Now,
that's on them. That's on them. If you intercept Mahomes, you got to bury him. You got to score touchdowns, and they didn't. So
now that
so
there's for some reason I'm thinking that the Bengals may play the Ravens next week. If they
I'm
do,
not
that's a
I'm not
big.
sure.
Yeah, if
I'm
they
not
do,
sure.
that's a big game because somebody's going to be 0-3. So I'm
Yes,
not sure though,
yes.
but there's a feeling I think they do.
And now we go from a quarterback who always wins to a coach who always wins. Mike Tomlin. The Steelers scored a touchdown, and I was happy to see that. Fields is doing what he needs to do. He's not turning the
Yeah.
ball over. He's not he's not throwing into coverage, and he has understood through the first couple of weeks. I'm in trouble. Where is George Pickens?
Yeah.
And so I just throw it up there. Pickens will come down with it. Pickens, a 50-50 ball, when you throw it to Pickens, is not really a 50-50 ball. It's more like a 90-10 ball, and Pickens is going to get it.
Yeah.
So it's he inside of um, Arthur Smith, who still is he was the most nondescript head coach
Oh,
ever in the
absolutely.
history of football to being the most nondescript offensive coordinator in football. When you put the camera on the sideline and they're centering him on the camera, you're really not sure if it's him or if it's the guy to his left or right who is Arthur Smith. The guy can walk down the middle of the street in Pittsburgh and nobody would know who he can walk down the middle of the street stopping traffic and nobody would know who he was. So,
I
but
do not think that Russell Wilson right now. I would put money down. He's not going to see a single snap as a starter.
No, I don't think so either. As long as Fields does this, there
Yeah,
isn't
if he
any
does
reason.
this and he stays
Yeah,
healthy, Wilson's not going to play.
yeah, and I think Pittsburgh will start to score more touchdowns. I think they will. So
Probably.
I'm, and that defense just isn't gonna let anybody score. Denver was down inside the 10 a couple of times,
Oh,
and they got turnovers or
ooh.
they stopped them on downs.
I
It
saw
was
one. I thought when I saw that throw that Nick's, well, they ran like a flea flicker and got down there,
oh
and then
yeah.
like a play later, I thought, oh, Peyton's gonna kill somebody. Bo
No,
Nix better watch.
Peyton's
That was
walking down the
bad.
sideline. Peyton's walking down the sideline, going, "Wilson, Wilson, where's
Yeah,
Wilson?" Because he's
yeah,
got he wants to blame Wilson. He just ain't there anymore because you didn't want him
yeah.
there.
No, that was a
So
bad pass. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So tonight we got the Bears and Texans, which I hope will be a good game. But I think Caleb Williams going against the Texas defense will will be a rookie. He's going to show up as a rookie. So
yeah. I think so too. Yeah,
yeah, I don't foresee him being outstanding. Now that doesn't mean that he won't, but I just don't. The Texans defense made a lot of veteran quarterbacks look bad last year. So
I think
yeah, I don't
the
think.
Texans. The Texans to me are possibly a threat to beat the Chiefs to get to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. Really,
but
and
they
nobody
got to
talks
do. They
about them,
got
but
yeah, they
they're
got to do
loaded
it
too.
first. Yeah,
Yeah,
doing it on paper doesn't matter. They got to
that's
get on
true.
the
But
field.
they have a lot of talent there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but a lot of
and good
talent on
coaching.
paper, a lot
Yeah,
of
true.
talent on paper doesn't mean nothing. They gotta get on the field
Yeah,
and do
that's
it.
true.
And then tomorrow night's game is a who really cares game. Is the Falcons and the Eagles. I
Yeah,
fully expect the Eagles to win the game
I would
um,
think that too. Yeah,
because the Eagles have a good pass rush, and you know where Cousins is gonna be.
yeah,
So
and they'll be at home, so their crowd will be all riled
yeah.
up. But
Yeah, so that'll be another one. X marks the spot. You'll find Cousins right there.
yeah, Cousins will be there.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so thanks, buddy, for another
Yep.
week, and I appreciate it. And I know you're making your victory lasagna tonight,
Yeah,
so
I'm
that's
gonna
great.
fire up some lasagna. Might be
Yeah,
the only
so
victory lasagna of the year.
yeah,
But
so I'm gonna make some homemade chicken nuggets. I found a recipe. I got my air
well, that
fryer,
sounds good
and,
too.
and I bought a double air fryer.
Oh
So
man,
I got two shelves. So I'm gonna make crispy nuggets
what?
and crispy fries,
Yeah,
and that's gonna be my dinner.
had you had an air fryer before this?
Oh yeah, I did, but it was a
Okay.
single one,
Yeah.
and that one was like a 6 quart, so I can make stuff, but not a lot. This
Yeah.
one is a 9 quart, and so both of the drawers hold 4.5, and but they're big enough. They're kind of a little longer than wide, so I'm looking forward to it. So thank you very much for
Yeah.
thank everyone for
Yeah.
watching
Thanks
our
everybody.
podcast again or just listening to it because I know a few people just listen to it. And so thank you very much
Huh.
for watching it and for listening to it. So it's time for a little travel music. And this is our favorite song, and I think it's just called sports music.
Works for us.
So this is Otis,
And I'm Jerry.
and this is two guys catching up on football. See you next week.
Yeah, please.
Ciao, Bella.